just his payback for talking about how he can't follow me. Because he know I ain't got nothing that can follow that. That's
family.
and when he was doing the song poem, I'm sitting over there saying, damn, I gotta go home and now I gotta write a poem that I can sing. And he gonna come behind that with that. This is thanks so much for inviting us to come and share.
Yes.
So I'm just going to share 3 more poems and then be out of your way. I'm looking forward to the open mic and hearing what the other poets got to say. So y'all heard in the news recently, it was maybe no more than about a month ago, this writer, a poet, posing off as Asian American and saying it was a strategy to get published. White guy. And he was going by the name of Yi Feng Chu. And his actual name is Michael Derek Hudson.
Or asshole.
Yeah, or asshole. And so, you know, I was looking through poems I was going to share tonight, and the poem. And then, of course, before him, there was the big national story about the white lady that claimed she was black, Rachel Dolezal.
She could braid her ass off, though.
She could, though. She was braiding sister's hair for a living.
She could.
She was down, man. So this is a poem I wrote. This is over a decade ago. When I was reading it again, I was like, God damn, that's really kind of accurate. It's called Identity Theft. They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but I'm not impressed by those who dress up as the other in their attempt to discover themselves. Whiteness is the exclusive club. We blacks never get let in, but somehow we supposed to welcome those who are the beneficiaries of our oppression dressing up in our darkness. Where is the court that will charge them with identity theft? For this is grand larceny, invaders from outer race culture, raiders, evaders of justice, body snatchers biting blackness. Aliens in pale skin invading spaces not their own, like the Borg in Star Trek, swallowing whole people's cultural germs, white worms infecting viruses, setting up comfort zones in my home. But no matter how much blackness you ingest, you can't snatch spirit. The ghost in the machine, the spook in the jukebox can't get got by mere cultural mocking, no matter how shocking, cause no matter how long your matted hair and knot locks grow, or how tight you flow, or how many versions of the electric slide or the bump you know, or how high you can jump, or how long you can hold a note, or how many black authors you can quote, or how many cowrie shells you rock round your neck, or how fast you can run, or how dark you turn your skin by baking it under the sun, or how fluently you can speak Swahili, or how many times you compliment me. You will never know what it means to be black. No matter how many trips you make to Africa or Jamaica or Brazil or India or any other where black folk live. You never be anyone other than your white skin privileged self. You see, appreciation is one thing, but appropriation is what you bring every time you try to sing and say you down with the Browns. Black folks can't have shit, literally. Eventually you'll see white folks running up our ass trying to confiscate our excrement, to rebel against the static whiteness, the blank slate, dry and caustic, the Caucasian chalk stick on the global blackboard. What is it you can say you own at the end of yourself that wasn't taken by force? Of course, you've been trained by the best. What makes what you do any different than what Columbus did? Imagine him stealing gold from the Caribs and raping their daughters, all the while talking about how he loved himself some Carib culture. You need to stop, pause, get behind your, well, see, it's because, and reflect on why being white has become so transient and trite. But what is true is that you ain't challenging your racism when you cross the tracks and enter into that dark taboo. No cops will harass you. You will not be followed in department stores. Surveillance cams won't be cramming your personal space, so wiggle please. Give your tired ass response a rest, because see, our culture is our way of life. Is our survival and thrival in a world hostile to our very being. It is not mere cloak or costume or tune or dance or trance. It is our very existence. We dress up in the vestiges of our darkness only to take it off when convenient, when it gets too real. When the nightstick hits you on your head and wakes you up to our reality. Like that white guy who tried to discover what it means to be black only to find he couldn't last a year in our skin, couldn't walk a mile in our shoes. See, we the ones been bruised, not you. Get a clue. Our soul is more than a song. It is a long, long history you will have to live to understand. Rather than trying to transcend your whiteness, trace the history of your own race. Go find yourself that pre-white reality if it can be found, and if it can't, then go create your own. But whatever you do, leave our shit alone. So in 2012, I edited a collection of poems called Stand Our Ground, Poems for Trayvon Martin and Marissa Alexander. With the book, we raised about $10,000 that were donated to the Trayvon Martin Foundation and the Marissa Alexander Legal Defense Fund. This collection we put out a post on social media, put up a website, and we got over 200 submissions from over 100 poets from all over the globe. I have a few copies with me. We're still sending the money to the foundations that are representing the families. I'm gonna share the poem I wrote for the collection. It's called They Will Kill You. They will kill you and say I'm sorry and expect your mother to forgive and forget she ever gave birth to you. Carried you in love for 9 months, endured labor and pushed you out with God's might moving in her hips. Ever fed you life from her bosom, or how you smelled like heaven after she washed you? Does she ever watch you take your first step, speak your first words, ever tucking you into bed with stories that rocked you to sleep? The many nights she prayed for your protection, or how excited she was the day you gave your first recital. That she ever taught you to be good and kind, ever beamed with pride whenever you got an A on your test? That she ever wanted the best in this world for you? They will kill you and say I'm sorry and expect your father to forgive and forget, ever holding your tiny body in his hands for the first time, looking into your eyes and seeing eternity, ever teaching you how to ride a bike, or the many nights he helped you do your homework, how he worked hard to make your life easier, or playing catch with you in the backyard, or the life lessons he recited to you over the rhythm of hair clippers, ever scolding you with stern words and reassuring hugs, ever kissing your cheeks, or how he was there week after week cheering you on from the stands, how he dreamed that you'd graduate high school, go to college, fall in love, that he ever wanted the world to love you too. They will say I am sorry and expect your mother and father to forgive and forget the day they learned of your fate, when the ground collapsed beneath them and swallowed your hopes, their hopes and tears as it did your blood. They will kill you and say I am sorry and expect your mother and father to forgive and forget that you ever existed. That you ever existed. They will shoot you, pin you down in the pool of your own blood, suffocate you in the torture of your screams and watch you die. They will leave you rotting in the morgue as your parents lose sleep and hair, wondering where you are on a trip down the block to buy some Skittles and iced tea. They will douse your memory in the gas of gossip, burn your body in the effigy of lies and race hate. They will tie you to blog posts and whip your image till it is twisted and distorted, unrecognizable to the ones who loved you first. They will kill you and raise money from the dead body that was you. They will kill you and expect us to forgive and forget. And this is the final poem I'll share. This is the title poem of my latest collection of poems called Who's America. I have some copies with me as well as copies of the collection. Online, Who's America is 15, tonight it's 10. But if you get Stand Our Ground, which is 20, I'll throw in a copy of Who's America for free. Dun, 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 dun. Who's America? Dun, dun, dun. All of us did not come here on the Mayflower. Who's America? Some of us got here against our free will in the hulls of cargo ships enslaved, chained to generations of sorrow. Some of us were already here. Who's America? All of us don't live behind white picket fences with 2.5 children on a tree-lined suburban street in middle America. Some of us live in row homes or high-rises with bars on our windows locked down in the projects and barrios of this nation. Some of us live in trailer parks in homes hitched to hopelessness. Some of us ain't got no place to call home. Who's America? All of us did not graduate from college with a BA, MBA, or PhD to become managers of this madness. Some of us barely got through high school where we passed through metal detectors in class with outdated textbooks and computers that crash. Who now take out the trash and clean up after the mess that you've made of this world. Who's America? All of us are not Christians, praying to a pale-faced male God to save us from our sins. Some of us are Muslim, Jews, and Buddhists. Some of us see God in the air, the rain, the trees. Some of us make altars to our ancestors and light candles to their memory. Some of us believe that goodness cannot be deified. Who's America? All of us are not heterosexuals trying to repress the rest. Some of us are gay, lesbian, or queer. Some of us refuse to be bound by fear. Who's America? All of us are not capitalists seeking to privatize the entire planet. Some of us are socialists and communists seeking to live simply so others can simply live. Who's America? All of us are not white, believing this land is ours by divine right. We come in the hue of the whole of humanity. The pride we have in our people is more than skin vanity. We remember, as the poet once said, America never been America to me. So we are redefining what it means to be, still fighting the revolution to form a more perfect union, marching to the sound of Ray Charles and Jose Feliciano singing the national anthem, their voices wrapping us in the red, white, and blues of our struggle here. No, you may not recognize this land when we are through. Who's America? My country, 'tis of thee, from sea to shining sea. Watch us make it free. Thank you.